Hello and welcome to National Focus for Monday, September 16, 2024. I am Julian Morris. In the headlines, Dominica and Saudi Arabia sign a $41 million loan agreement, E-litigation portal to reduce significant backlog of court cases, and government launches new eServices portal. The details of the headline stories and more when we return.
Ride safe, wear a helmet, safer roads in the nature aisle. This message was brought to you by the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Welcome back. The government of Dominica has signed a loan agreement with the Saudi Fund for Development to the tune of $41 million US or 111 million EC. The $41 million infrastructure rehabilitation project is expected to transform the city of Roseau, drive economic growth and enhance living conditions in Dominica. The agreement was signed by Saudi Arabia's Tourism Minister and CEO of the Saudi Fund for Development, His Excellency Sultan Al Mashad, and Dominica's Minister for Finance, Honorable Dr. Irving McIntyre.
Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, the agreement signed today aims to rehabilitate the infrastructure of 7 main roads in the center of the capital city. The project will help improve roads connectivity, reduce traffic, enhance safety, enhance access to basic services, and contribute to the commercial and residential development. Additionally, it will create many job opportunity and will help for the tourism sector.
The Honorable Dr. Irving McIntyre noted that support from the Saudi Fund was significant in light of geopolitical and other challenges which often lead to repurposing of funds to more critical areas of need.
The realization of our vision is constrained by financial challenges precipitated by international geopolitics, climate change, and pathological events such as the COVID-19 pandemic, which costed our government $350 million or 22% of our GDP. All of these repeated shocks have augmented our fiscal challenges and have diverted much of our development resources to disaster response. Therefore, allow me to express how honored I feel to be part of the signing ceremony for a loan of $41 million US or 111,392,900 EC dollars, and that from the Saudi Fund for Development. I'm also pleased to announce that this was made possible through approval of Cabinet and Parliament with the authority of Section 3.1 of the Loans Act, Chapter 6405. We remain hopeful as we pursue a prudent fiscal policy complemented by our national debt strategy and tax policy.
Minister for Housing and Urban Development, Parliamentary Representative for Roseau Central, Honorable Melissa Popon-Skerrit, is excited about the possibilities in terms of modernizing the capital.
This funding will be the driving force behind the Roseau Enhancement Project, focusing on road infrastructure, an ambitious initiative that aims to breathe new life into the streets and the sidewalks of our historic city. And I cannot express the excitement and the joy that I feel knowing that we are about to embark on a project, a long-awaited project, that will truly transform our capital.
Prime Minister the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit said the signing of the loan agreement was a significant milestone in an ever-deepening friendship between the two countries.
Your presence reflects the shared vision we hold for progress, sustainable development, and the well-being of our peoples. As we come together to finalize the details of the loan agreement for the Roseau Enhancement Project, I feel a sense of optimism and gratitude. The project is a major investment in the future of our capital city and, by extension, the future of Dominica. We have long recognized that for our nation to flourish, we must build modern, resilient, and sustainable infrastructure.
The Roseau Enhancement Project will serve as a hub for many other economic opportunities.
Several large-scale initiatives are currently underway and others about to commence across the country. And the Roseau Enhancement Project is a key component of our vision for long-term sustainable development. Our efforts in the capital will stimulate local businesses and open doors for new enterprises, creating more jobs and opportunities for everyone. Equally important is the chance to enhance the quality of life of our residents. Improvements to streets, sidewalks, and public spaces will make daily activities safer and more convenient for all. This initiative is not only about aesthetics, but about creating a space where people want to live, work, and invest in the future. We welcome this collaboration between our nations as we work to make our capital a better place to live and conduct business. This partnership is not just financial. It is a meeting of minds, ideas, innovation, and shared values.
The introduction of the E-litigation portal means the users of the High Court Criminal Division and the Magistrates Court can now expect increased efficiency, transparency, and accountability. The Attorney General Levi Peter says with the E-litigation portal, justice for all, as experienced in the civil court, can now be experienced by users of the criminal division.
I would anticipate that the increased efficiency and access to justice that the introduction of the e-portal will bring to the criminal justice realm will contribute to the efforts to reduce the intolerable and significant backlogs that are being experienced in all jurisdictions within the Eastern Caribbean Creole service area. The introduction of the e-litigation portal, especially to the criminal division of the High Court and the magistracy, additionally constitutes an auspicious round on the ladder of development for our Eastern Caribbean judicial progress.
Putting forward some recommendations, the Attorney General presented other options for consideration which could lead to an efficient, transparent, and fair justice system.
Can we not achieve justice and reduce backlogs by, for example, reducing on the use of custodial sentences, confining these to violent or repeat offenders, where offenders burdensome on society, for example, burglary. And what I indicated there is that we have the violent offenses, which obviously are likely to attract custodial sentences. But some of the other offenses, dishonesty and some of those, unless they are repeat offenses, may well be that we can visit other forms of punishment. So enable justice to be served, whilst at the same time we will not corrupt the criminal system and the justice system unnecessarily.
The Attorney General is of the view that in addition to the e-litigation portal, the region needs to explore other innovative steps to reduce crime and backlogs. The government of Dominica has launched a new eServices portal, eServices.gov.dm, which provides online access to over 90 government services. The platform aims to enhance the efficiency and accessibility of public services, offering a secure, seamless, and user-friendly experience.
Through this eServices portal, Dominicans can apply for a variety of documents and services such as birth certificates, death certificates, marriage, passports, business permits and licenses, all without needing to visit government offices physically. The platform also supports secure payments via debit or credit card. As you would know, government has had in place an e-payment platform for the last 2 years. However, now this is an expansion of the service that we are offering to citizens, via application and payment of services.
Designed with user convenience in mind, the portal includes interactive features such as live chat support to assist with any questions or concerns.
The platform is also disability friendly and multilingual, ensuring that it is accessible to all users or to users all over the world. It also allows individuals to track the progress of their request, so you are able to receive real-time updates on the actual progress of your application. You can see whether your application is in progress, approved, disapproved, and if there is additional information required to complete your application, a customer service representative will reach out to you.
The eServices platform is another milestone in government's bid to expand the country's digital economy.
This is part of government's overall digital transformation program, and it is aimed at improving productivity and creating citizen-centric digital services, and is funded through the World Bank Caribbean Digital Transformation Project.
E-services or electronic services refer to the delivery of services via digital channels, typically online, enabling access to information, transactions, and process management without the need for physical presence or paper-based methods. Tourism Minister Denise Charles Pemberton wants cruise tourism stakeholders to maintain and improve standards. The Tourism Minister says this is particularly important when it comes to service providers.
Adhering to strict quality standards will ensure that we consistently offer an excellent experience to our visitors. The Discover Dominica Authority is finalizing new standards for craft and souvenir vendors, as well as tourism taxi services. We are also working on strengthening legislation to make it mandatory to use certified tour guides for certain excursions.
Ongoing training remains a reality for service providers within the cruise sector, and the Tourism Minister wants full participation in upcoming training opportunities.
Many of you have already benefited from the ongoing Elevate Your Standards training program. In fact, 145 of you have participated in those trainings. Coming up next is the OECS training for health and wellness service providers. These comprehensive training sessions will focus on customer service, product knowledge, and professionalism. I encourage all service providers to actively participate to ensure we meet the expectations of our growing cruise passenger numbers.
The Minister says another area of focus is the development of competitively priced tour packages.
By working closely with our operators and vendors, we can showcase the best of Dominica while providing value for money to our guests. It's vital to maintain consistent and transparent pricing across all our offerings, as this builds trust with visitors and keeps us competitive in the regional and global cruise market.
She says first impressions are crucial, therefore whether one is a taxi driver, tour guide, vendor or hair breeder, their appearance and conduct should reflect the high standards Dominica is known for.
Professionalism and grooming are not just important, they are necessary to maintain our reputation as a top destination. We also face the challenge of maintaining our natural attractions, especially as they are increasingly affected by climatic events. You saw what happened on the Bayfront. To preserve sites like Mont Wapitor National Park, Emerald Pool, Trafalgar Falls, Indian River, and Boiling Lake, we're reviewing site fees to ensure they cover the cost of maintenance and conservation efforts. While this might impact tour prices, it's a necessary step to protect the very essence of what makes Dominica so special.
You are watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. The People's Republic of China and the Caribbean to strengthen multilateral relations. Aliyah Martin reports from Beijing.
The Ministerial Conference of the 4th China-Caribbean Economic and Trade Cooperation Forum was held in Hainan's province on Friday, September 13, 2024. Minister for Foreign Affairs, International Business, Trade and Energy, Honorable Dr. Vince Henderson, was present at this meeting. The meeting took place from September 12 to 14, focusing on emerging sectors and the new opportunities brought by green low-carbon development and digital technologies to China-Caribbean cooperation. Both China and Caribbean countries expressed a desire to deepen collaboration in these areas. The conference was well attended by representatives from Caribbean nations, including Cuba and the Dominican Republic. A key initiative highlighted during the meeting was the 100% duty-free quota for Caribbean countries in China's market.
What we're engaged in discussions with the Chinese side, and that is all the Caribbean countries that were at the conference, is how do we frame a trade agreement between China and the respective countries bilaterally or multilaterally through a Caribbean approach. So it would definitely be something of importance to us because it means that our goods will get to China duty-free. So there'll be no duties, no taxes, no tariffs imposed on Dominican products and products from the Caribbean. Unfortunately, we're still working on the details of that agreement, that arrangement, because it would have implications for existing arrangements. In my discussion with the Minister of Commerce, Vice Minister of Commerce of China, Minister Wang, and also with the Assistant Secretary General of CARICOM, who is, in fact, the lead on trade at CARICOM, we are exploring options that can be considered by the Chinese side that would be acceptable to the member states.
Minister Henderson stated that this initiative will significantly impact the economic development of Caribbean nations.
It will be good news for us. Some member states of CARICOM are already exporting sizable amounts of produce and products to China. We're hoping that we can join them to create opportunities for businesses in Dominica that have the capacity. Obviously, China is a huge market and it's so very far away. And therefore, whatever is being sold to China must make sense, both in terms of quantity, unit price. So high value goods, for example, would be ideal. And we're hoping that this could create an opportunity for us, not only in Dominica, but the wider Caribbean, which means that we may have to bring our resources together, as we used to do back in the day when we send bananas to the UK. So there has to be some mechanism to make that make sense.
A joint statement emphasized the shared objective of expanding China-Caribbean trade, enhancing trade facilitation and liberalization, and strengthening cooperation in areas such as animal and plant inspection and quarantine, healthcare, and tourism, while encouraging mutual investment in food security, green development, the digital economy, and the blue economy.
We had a successful, day of discussion. We of course, in those things, we prepared a declaration which was approved this afternoon, something that we've been working on for the last several weeks. And Dominic was happy to support the declaration, really calling for more cooperation between the Caribbean and China to provide a platform for the trade in goods and services using technology as well, e-commerce and other digital platforms that will help to facilitate the movement of goods and services between China and the Caribbean.
Over the past 20 years, China-Caribbean trade has grown at an average annual rate of 13%, higher than China's overall foreign trade growth during the same period. While several Caribbean nations have established strong bilateral relations with China, this approach will be different.
We used to do bilateral, and we have several bilateral cooperation agreements with China in areas of healthcare, education and training, agriculture, blue economy. We also have zero carbon and climate resilient cooperation agreement But this time, what China is seeking to do is to approach us on a regional basis to see what can work for the benefit of all peoples.
A proposal was made by Dominica, supported by other Caribbean countries, especially Guyana, to further deepen China-Caribbean multilateral relations moving forward.
One of the recommendations that we're putting forward to the Chinese side is the establishment of a virtual secretariat that can coordinate activities throughout the year and to focus on the thematic areas. So when we start talking about renewable energy, for example, with the Caribbean Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, CCRE based in Barbados, they can do some work directly related to renewable energy. In the area of blue economy, there are already mechanisms within the Caribbean that can be the contact points. We have, again, as we mentioned, disaster management and relief. SIDEMA is the contact point. So we're hoping that those working groups would incorporate the existing regional facilities and entities and organizations that can help to facilitate the movement. So we hope that our recommendations will find favor with the Chinese side. So far, Minister Wang indicated that he's in support, as well as Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs. Feel that this would be an excellent idea to keep us engaged at a regional level.
The Belt and Road Initiative, the Global Development Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative will offer extensive opportunities for enhancing economic and trade cooperation, contributing to the stable and sustainable development of both regions, and accelerating the achievement of the UN 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. This conference provided an important platform for enhanced collaboration between China and Caribbean nations, including Dominica. Alia Martin reporting for the Government Information Service.
Consultant psychiatrist at the Acute Psychiatric Unit, Dr. Nadia Wallace, says that with adequate training, there can be an increase in suicide prevention and awareness. This as the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Social Services, through its partnership with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, and the Acute Psychiatric Unit, conducted a 3-day training for healthcare providers in order to implement the Mental Health Gap Intervention Guidelines. The training also coincided with World Suicide Prevention Day, observed on September 10, under the theme, Changing the Narrative on Suicide.
Many times we can be selfish as humans. And sometimes we only focus on ourselves. We don't focus on our colleagues, our friends, even our family members. And we don't, even when we see that they are crying out for help, okay? So what we can do as individuals, we can check in with our loved ones who we know are struggling and offer them some support. We can do much more than that. We can also consider accessing training opportunities in suicide prevention and awareness.
A call for the promotion of mental health awareness was also made.
It's time that we stop being ashamed of speaking about our mental health. Our mental health is important. Our mental health, in fact, I believe it's everything. Because if we don't have good mental health and we don't have mental wellness, everything else that we're going to do will be affected. Okay, so stop being ashamed when you have a problem. Seek help, because there is help. Help is available.
Dr. Wallace says the community can play a part in the reduction of suicidal rates.
Within your community, you could organize events to educate people about mental health, the signs of suicide ideation, and supporting those in need. You as district medical officers, I know you call upon me all the time to assist you in presentations that you have to do. You can organize those sessions and have those education sessions within your community so that you can raise awareness and help people understand what are the signs they need to look for in determining whether someone has risk of committing suicide or not.
She added that by not judging the state of an individual's mental health can reduce suicide ideation.
We can create safe spaces so that individuals can openly discuss mental health issues in a non-judgmental environment and access the support they need. Don't let persons with mental illness feel discriminated. Don't make them feel uncomfortable. They have rights. Let them feel comfortable, and that way it will be easier for them to present to you, to any one of you, whenever they have a problem.
Coming up next, the Creole News Highlights with Jenna Jacob.
Bienvenue à ce nouvel en créole, non, monsieur Jenno Jacob. Adult Education, éducation, grand monde, qu'a indiqué monde qui en l'âge. Mois septembre, c'est mois Adult Education, une activité qui prend place. Jude Williams, officier Adult Education, dit nous compte programme Yoni.
Nous avons des programs, so nous avons literacy et numeracy skills, ça c'est fondation. Là, nous avons montré personnes qui passent à lire bien, à compter bien pour développer Creole. Nous avons academic programs comme Maths, English, pre-CSEC et puis CSEC, ça nous avons créé CXC subjects. Et puis ça, nous avons fait ça island-wide. Et puis nous avons skills training. Si on go bagay en adult education, summer skills training, pli courses là, yo pli coûte with semen. Et puis nous avons pli long skills training, CVQ compliant. So ça enroll en course pour 3 mois, taper un certificate, en TVET CVQ certificate.
Adult Education, quand on tue grand monde, toute qualité métier.
Toute qualité skills, plumbing, electricity, nails, chivé, bagay chivé, tout bagay. So, moun ni pour contacter nous, nous ni officers, 7 zones, 7 districts. Contacter officer et puis dire ça ou la communauté. Dire nous ça ou vle. Et puis nous que fait
Consultant psychiatrist moun fou Dr. Nadia Wallace dit avec assez training yo sa baisser incident la moun ka tué koyo. Ministre santé en collaboration et puis pao tient training pour 3 jours à sous santé mentale. 10 septembre c'est World Suicide Prevention Day. Moate changing the narrative on suicide. Dr. Wallace dit communauté sa wende empêcher moun tuer koyo. Tout le monde n'est pour travailler ensemble en l'amour. Ministre Tourisme Honorable Dennis Charles Pemberton veut moun qui a fait business et puis tourisme continuer à faire standards au meilleur. C'est important en affaires tourisme. Gouvernement Dominique a travaillé pour développer l'industrie touriste. Gouvernement a plan pour bâtir meilleures facilités. Ministre touriste a chain training pour moun qui en business touriste. Honorable Dennis Charles Pemberton dit taxi drivers, tour guides, vendors et puis moun qui a payé un chivé si posé ni standards qui bien haut. Ministre touriste a développé un prix compétitif pour tour. Changer moi moun qui en l'âge a continué. Il est important pour nous supporter ces activités salaires. Il commence le 1er septembre qui finit 1er octobre 2024. Comme ce monde qui en l'âge lancé moi c'est honorer et puis protéger droit monde qui en l'âge. Il y a une lot activité. Une ces activités là, il y a le 19 septembre c'est cardio jam. Monsieur Nigel Lawrence, président monde qui en l'âge, parle et puis nous.
Jolly's Pharmacy, qui a assisté nous, il y a un cardio jam. Il y a fait un cardio jam, il y a mené tout grand monde ensemble. En Wozo et puis il faut faire différents bagages pour exercice pour assurer au chanter comme jeune jour ça là et même jour ça là on est 19 ça là nous gagne c'est grand monde qui sorti Woodford Hill il y aussi ni habitant il y a demandé il y a point tout différents hasiers et puis il y a herbs. Et puis, il y a pointé ça là, et puis il y a fait dité, et puis il y a qui qualité de pour qu'on puisse servir pour différents dité, et puis pour boire, pour être qui bénéficie et pour.
Ça, c'est tout à ce nouvel en créole. Non, M. Jenno Jacob, changer qui nous entend cyclone, continuez à faire préparation aujourd'hui. Au revoir.
Thank you, Jenno. And now for today's weather advisory. Moisture and instability associated with a trough generated by Tropical Depression Gordon are expected to result in partly cloudy to cloudy skies, scattered showers, and a chance of isolated thunderstorms. Thereafter, a high-pressure system is expected to regain dominance across the area, resulting in a gradual drying of the atmosphere. Sea conditions are expected to remain slight to moderate, with wave heights reaching up to 7 feet over the next 24 hours. The National Hurricane Center is issuing advisories on Tropical Depression Gordon, located in the central tropical Atlantic. This system is expected to remain over water and does not pose a direct threat to Dominica at this time. Today's hurricane tip: once the storm is gone and it's safe to go home, be cautious of what's going on. If water is in your path, you have to turn back. There could be dangerous electricity and things you can't see. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I am Julian Morris. Thanks for watching.